Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Good morning, everybody. We got a full house today. We got Tortoise, Hellwheeler, kjcowboydan. What's up?
Good morning.
That's right. Good morning. Look at you guys chilling, rocking it out, being awesome, being amazing.
Yep.
Hellwheeler must be getting her coffee still.
Well, you know, that British coffee takes a little longer to make.
Right, because you gotta transfer the machine, throw it away, grab a coffee machine, and make coffee, not tea.
Hey, no, don't go insulting our coffee. I do have proper coffee again, so I am now back out of instant, which is nice.
But not to mention, Tortoise did forget something. You also got to go out and pick the coffee beans.
Yeah, process the beans, grind them up, all that fun jazz.
Yeah, I used to do that myself back when I had hands. But then I realized, you know what? It's a lot easier just to go to the store and have the Colombians pick the coffee beans. They're better at that. Mm-hmm. It says so right on the packaging.
Nice. Lone Wolf. Hey, Lone Wolf. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Good morning. Boop, says TCG Dude. Boop, back to you. Boop the snoot. That's right. Hello, hello, hello. We got Cane Shaker.
What's up?
Cane Shaker.
Cane Shaker. That's right. Remember, Cane Shaker, shaking that cane to control the weather.
The mighty welder of the cane.
That's
of
right.
Power.
He's like more of an elder He-Man. Like, he walks up to the top of the stairs and raises his cane and says, "I am the son of Adam." And he like waves his cane and like he starts controlling the weather in different ways. Lightning strikes, some dragons fly from the background, some cool effect happens. You know, it goes, it does.
I'm imagining that to be animated by the people who animated the heavy metal cartoons.
Oh yeah. That's a movie some people can't watch.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, no, in fact, I know about that movie because it was banned in Utah for 7 years.
Wow.
Wasn't everything banned in Utah for 7 years?
Everything, right?
Well, I know for a fact when I went to Utah, not advocating for drinking alcohol or anything, but on a Friday after 3:00, you're not allowed to buy booze in Hurricane, Utah. What's that all about?
Right.
I went to Hurricane, Utah to visit my cousin after he got married, and we're like, okay, we're gonna get some beer and everything, and we're gonna have a little party and hang out with my family, And we went into the gas station. It was 3:30, and they said we stopped selling beer at 3:00, and I'm like, you stopped selling beer at 3:00 on a Friday,
right? It's interesting how that works because I remember when I moved to Iowa and I saw the liquor section like in a Walmart. I'm like, holy cow, there's a state liquor store in Walmart. Raised up in Utah, I thought all liquor was sold in the state liquor. Nope, I was wrong. Way off.
Yeah, it's a culture shock. And when my cousin moved to Utah and when he got married, you're talking like my family is like your standard movie rednecks, drinking beer, running down a dirt road at all hours of the day. Bo and Luke Duke blowing up whatever they can with the bow and arrow type of rednecks in my family. So, you say that you can't buy beer on a Friday after 3:00. It's like talking Greek to some of my family members.
Right. Now they changed that law. Like in the Utah, they have to stop selling beer around 1 or 2 a.m. and they can't sell liquor or beer until like 8 a.m. in the morning.
Well, one thing they got down here, Kroger's. Kroger's can sell beer in the store, but they also have a liquor store.
Yeah.
But the liquor store cannot be inside the grocery store.
Interesting.
Its own little building.
That's interesting how that law works or how that works.
Yep. So what they've done is on some of these Krogers, they took a section of their store, built it up to be a different building. Put the walls up and all that. Throw a door in there. Boom! They got their liquor store.
Tasty Dude said, "Sup, chat? Hope the coffee brewing to your liking." Well, I have delicious coffee with just regular cream and sugar in it today. I'm a regular cream and sugar guy today.
Well, I got cocoa in mine.
I'm out of cocoa. I'm fresh out of cocoa. No. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh, but yeah, I hope you guys got good coffee going on.
Oh yeah.
I got a little friend here who's rubbing against my leg. Hello, Lily.
My coffee's pretty delightful today. I privileged myself with a nice dark roast with no sugar today, but I put in extra caramel, and we decided that we weren't going to go with a creamer, and it's pretty good. Very bold, has a lot of bite, and it's also very sweet.
It's like a swift kick in the butt.
Yeah.
You know who hasn't said anything about their coffee? It's Hellwheeler.
Oh, she did. She said that she's got new coffee. She's not
right.
on.
Yeah, I'm off the instant coffee now. I'm back onto proper coffee that I've got in my cafetiere.
But how's your coffee dressed?
It's good. It's a dark one, I think. My parents basically gave me a couple of bags of proper coffee.
Nice.
When I was on respite, so it's what they've got. This bag, however, was very eager to be drunk because it popped before I even got around to opening it. So I was like, well, that's the one I'm going to be drinking first.
Right, got to drink it before it goes bad.
So you're saying you're drinking real coffee?
Oh yeah, proper coffee.
Man, you're insulting
Although
all the tea lovers.
not as much as my dad that's been doing it so far, has even actually been grinding up the beans himself.
Cool.
Yeah, we got a bean grinder here. We got a bean grinder here. We got some coffee beans we need to grind up, start using. They've been in the fridge for a bit. You start using it.
I like doing the ground beans, but lately I've noticed that it's gotten more expensive to grind your own beans.
I don't know. I don't know about that. The beans we have are a birthday gift for the wife.
Yeah, because I go and you can get like the beans in bulk, and now it's more expensive. And I'm like, really? It used to be cheaper to get your beans in bulk.
Coffee's always been kind of expensive in beans form, so I don't know. Because like, there's a
Well,
specific coffee I like that's super dark. Love it. I love dark coffee. I love that bitter coffee taste, especially when you add a good creamer to it and you get that sweet bitter coffee flavor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
well, the other thing to factor in, if you're going to have coffee beans, not just, proper coffee powder, you now also need a new piece of equipment because I've only got a cafetiere. You just put the powder in and you add your water, wait, and plunge. But if I'm going to have beans, I now need a grinder as well to grind my beans up.
Well, I'll tell you what, grinders are not too expensive, and the one we got, it's like a little grinder about this big, that thin, and makes like a cup worth, half a cup worth of beans when you grind it. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, pretty sure Amazon has a good deal in your area. The people who own TikTok now, kidding, they don't own TikTok now, but there's a lead for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Amazon should take over TikTok. One of my friends who's a TikToker the other day was just asking me, says, do you think with all the drama and everything going on with TikTok, it's worth my keeping my TikTok account up? I says, you know what? You have a successful TikTok account. I would definitely keep that up. And, what do I know about drama and anything? As far as I understand, with business, drama makes all business better. So there's a chance that TikTok might take a huge leap after they find out who's going to buy it.
Mm-hmm. TC Dude agrees with you that coffee's gotten a little more expensive because it's gotten trendy and they're starting to upcharge. Well, it's all about supply and demand. All of a sudden, it's more people are buying it. The demand needs to be met with the upcharge because they need to get more, source more. They need to spend more money getting it, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Wolf, it's really hard to find coffee bean here for me here. We ended up getting a coffee maker that grinds the beans at a thrift store, and we could only find one kind of coffee that was beans. No.
Oh, it'd be awkward to have to go to the thrift store for a coffee bean grinder. I mean,
hey, all I could say, that's an epic find. Finding a coffee.
No. It'd be great to find one, but I mean, just to take your beans to the it's the only coffee. It came across like it was the only coffee bean grinder in the city, so we have to go down to the secondhand store, take our beans down there, and they grind it for us, and we take it back. It's a pretty profitable business if you're if you have the only grinder in the county. Just saying.
Right.
I think it depends on what you're wanting as well, because my dad, when he started having the beans, he just wanted just a little grinder.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently all he could find was ones that, we'll grind the bean for you, but then, of course, we'll go along and make the coffee and do all the rest of it. I just want to be able to grind the beans up. I've got all the rest that I need to make the rest of the stuff.
Dude.
Look, I just think it's impressive that you found a working coffee grinder at a thrift store.
Yeah, actually it is. Actually, it is very impressive because nothing I ever find at a thrift store is working.
I mean, I'm assuming your thrift stores are like our charity stores?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you can find bargains at charity shops.
Oh, yeah.
They're awesome.
No, if you knew America's charity shops, man, they scam you out of deals.
Oh, they'll scam you out of deals, but sometimes you can find bargains. Most of the time, though, stuff I find at these thrift shops in the States, nothing against United States thrift shops, but they tend to be stuff that a tweaker's already taken apart and tried to put back together 4 times, will never work ever again. And
yeah. Kenny Checker says, I still think some of you should try Kopai Luwak.
Never heard of it.
Lulu! Hello, Lulu.
What's up, Lulu?
I don't know why I had a hard time saying your name. It's like I don't know why I had a hard time. Lulu's not really hard to say, but my brain is like, Lulu.
I respect Lulu and the fact every time they come in, they're drinking a good cup of tea. Which is what I do normally move on to, but it depends on what I'm doing as to whether I need to wake up or I just want a nice, relaxing cup of tea. Which is normally not chamomile or any of the weird stuff.
All right. And Lone Wolf says it's a coffee maker that grinds the beans, not a grinder, which is the impressive part. I've never seen one before.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of those, and I've seen a couple in use, and oh man, I would love to have one of those.
Yeah. Right. See, the impressive part about it. See, in America, right? Goodwills and Deseret Industries and even other thrift stores. They're taking all the good stuff that's donated to them and they're throwing them online on auction sites. So they're
Fact.
taking they're taking all the good stuff and not giving it to the people, but giving it to the people with more money.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've turned into a scam here in the States, really, depending on how you look at it. But then you find sometimes you still find some pretty good deals, though, at a thrift shop,
Oh yeah,
particularly the mom and pop's thrift shops that don't know any better.
right. And in the defense of thrift shops, and I don't really defend thrift shops, in the defense of thrift shops, they're fighting two things: resellers, eBay and Macari and other selling sites.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Yeah, a lot of our charity shops there have educated themselves. So especially like books and things, they will
Mhm.
check to see if it's worth anything on eBay and sell it there. But a lot
Right,
of them
right.
as well have started having brand new items in their in the charity shops.
Right.
It's like you're a charity shop. I understand. We'll get secondhand stuff here. It may not be the best quality, but that's what I'm looking for. Why have you got this full price, brand new stuff?
Right. Well, it's like give me a second, Hillbilly. I'll let you finish that thought. It's like in some of the charity shops I have, those donation shops, you'll find a section saying on eBay it's worth this much. We're saving you like 20 cents or something like that. All right, go ahead, Hillbilly.
well, I got a thrift shop right up the street from me. So, all the stuff in it is used, but they sell it at new prices.
Sometimes
Such
that's how
as,
it is.
so you buy like you go to Walmart, you can buy, say maybe 5 shirts for $1, 5 shirts for $5.
Mm-hmm.
You go up here to the thrift shop, buy 5 shirts, for $2 a piece.
Mm-hmm. Well, like vintage clothing sells for more, and they know that.
I'm just talking about regular old T-shirts.
Right. Vintage, double stitch shirts. Vintage shirts sell for a good penny. They learned that.
Yeah,
It depends on which one you go to. I mean, I can find a bargain of a charity shop that you go in and go, yeah, this is what I expect. It's
Look, even our
cheap prices. And there's
Salvation Army is not a steal anymore for good deals.
All right.
I've been into some and I can get a coat for like £5. And then you go into, is it like a proper good, decent, almost brand new coat? And you go to another shop and it's like you're saying £5 and you're getting a small little T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lulu says, I love tea. It's yum for the mindset. Tea is good for thinking. It's good for the body. It's good for health, for sure. Yeah. And we got Mana Monk. Hello, Mana Monk, opening portals.
Well, I was just using T-shirts as an example.
Right.
I'd like to play devil's advocate for a second. Actually, not just any devil's advocate, but particularly capitalist devil advocate. So with the argument of finding new things at a thrift shop. A thrift shop is a thrift shop. It's supposed to be thrifty. That's the idea, right? So as long as it's discounted, the fact that you see new items at full retail price is an issue for me.
No, this isn't a discounted. This isn't someone's donated this brand new. This is they have a range of you can buy these products that we are specifically ordering in and displaying like you would go to any other shop to buy a product.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty bad when Goodwill has an eBay store themselves that you can buy some expensive things from that were donated to them for free.
Mm-hmm. But used products at new prices.
Yeah, used products at new prices is a different subject altogether. I do agree with that. I do agree with you on that. Where but like a lot of times nowadays, like Goodwill will get like closeout stores and do they do like closeout stores and they get these huge closeout boxes in order to stock their shelves. And a lot of them are closeout items of new items that haven't been done. And you'll see those at full retail price, which I also don't agree with that these thrift stores do. The whole concept of being a thrift store is not being at full retail price. And if it's one of those donation stores, I also don't agree with donation stores selling anything at full retail price.
Well, that's how
Being
thrift shops get most of their stuff is through donations.
right,
Mhm.
and that is a fact that most thrift shops get everything that they have via donation,
Mhm.
but the way they go about it, in my opinion, is just scummy.
Lone Wolf says we have a local thrift store here that helps support a Special Olympics, which is really cool, and stuff like that. And they are really good on the prices compared to Goodwill, where they try to have the highest prices they can. That's right.
Yep.
But yeah, like, man, I can go on and on about thrift stores because look, I love a good thrift.
Mhm.
I love finding stuff. I love going to yard sales, when I can. But like even as an eBay seller in today's world, it's hard to do that and keep up with that. And I'm not a reseller anymore like I used to be. But but yeah, it's just the economy changed. A lot of things changed. The competitive nature changed, of reselling and selling through thrift stores. And I think we should advocate that we're going to hand out KJ's address to everybody in his local area, and he's going to start asking for their donations so he can make money off it.
I already have. Absolutely. It's called the Support KJ Fund, and you can support now by donating to kjcowboydan at every thing by Twitch, by YouTube, by Ko-Fi. That'd be ko-fi.com/kjcowboydan.
Oh yeah,
Well, I got a penny. You want it?
Yeah.
a penny's a penny.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of pennies, I've been finding that the world has been paying me lately. Every time I step foot out of my house, I get between 5 cents and 14 cents right outside my front door in the parking lot of my apartment. The world has been paying me to
That's the
touch
standard.
grass.
That's the standard KJ living tax. You get tax. They give you they tax. They don't tax you, but they give you a tax for you just to live. They're like, oh, you're living. Here's some money. Here you go.
Well,
Sure, you're not dropping the same 14 cents outside your door every morning when you go out or something. So when you come back,
I double check.
Hey!
I double check. I'm pretty darn sure I haven't been paying myself, but I feel like the world has been paying me to touch grass. 14 cents a day is what you get paid on an average to touch grass.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wish I got
Just
paid 14 cents a day to touch grass.
so
That
the way I
adds
figure
up.
it, I'm coming out in ahead just by going outside every day for 5 minutes. It's not minimum wage or anything, but it's touching grass tax.
Mhm.
And
Cane
it works.
Checker asked if you've seen any good spoilers today.
Did I see any good spoilers today? No, but I did watch the first 5 minutes of the new episode of Daredevil Born Again. And while I have some thoughts about the new Daredevil series, I'm really, really liking it.
That's good. That's good. And Miss Hillbilly says, I love going to antique shops. Oh, yeah. That's a different thing than thrift stores for sure. Almost definitely is Hellwheeler and howdy to Mrs. Hillbilly. Hello to you guys. All right. But anyways, really quick, I want to share with you guys the card of the day. I selected a card of the day for today, and it's a card we've had on the show a long time ago, but I still love this card. I think it's good. It's a little bit expensive on the mana cost value, but you can cheat it out and play and stuff. But we got Debtors Now for the card of the day. Found out an extra copy of this, so I'm like, I need to find a place in my dragon deck for this.
Ooh.
It costs 4 generic and 3 white or black, and that color combination of mixed. It's an enchantment. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
Nice.
And it looks like that scene from Lord of the Rings when the ghost people were starting to storm out of the gates to fight the war. Yeah. Everybody's quiet because I made a Lord of the Rings reference.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I was trying to think of Lord of the Rings. It's been a while since I watched the Lord of the Rings stuff. I kind of gave up on them after Power of the Ring.
Well, you don't have to follow the whole storyline that you don't like to enjoy the old classic movies. Like,
Yeah.
like you know how many Jurassic Parks they made that kind of failed the system? Doesn't stop me from enjoying the original series. You know how many Magic cards that came out that are crap, and I'm like, that doesn't stop me from loving Magic.
True.
Look how many Marvel movies they came out with that are poop. And I still
Yeah.
like Marvel movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do something bad, it doesn't stop you from enjoying the things you enjoyed. It doesn't change it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You know, like when they made Aladdin, that was a great movie. Great movie. Loved the movie. When they made Return of the Jafar, that movie sucked. Didn't
Oh,
stop me
come
from
on!
enjoying
How can you say Return of Jafar sucked?
it. It did.
Yep.
Comparably to Aladdin, it sucked. And you know what? It didn't stop me from liking Aladdin. You know, I'm just saying, just because the franchise goes on and does what it does and might not do a good job doesn't mean you can't enjoy the things you enjoyed when it first came out. That's all I'm saying. Don't let things depict your happiness. You know,
That's right.
No, I used to love Daredevil and the Elektra movie when I was younger. However, I just grew up a bit and I met people and they introduced me to good films and how a film sort of should be done and things. And bless it, I can never go back and watch Daredevil or Elektra again because at the moment I have a memory of them being awesome.
mm-hmm.
I
I
know
actually
they're
just got
rubbish.
rid of that movie, the
Yeah,
Daredevil.
I know they're rubbish, and I know if I watch them again, I'm gonna see how rubbish those movies are. So I can never rewatch them because, for the time being, they are still perfect in my head.
Man of Monk is saying Daredevil is doing okay in his book, the series. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
I
is.
still need to check the series out. I'm
It's
not
Charlie
sure if
Cox
I've got
and
access to it at the moment.
Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are great together. You know, it's crazy how wide of a range Vincent D'Onofrio can be for his character.
Vincent
cow.
D'Onofrio is the in my opinion is the kingpin. I think that like they could historically couldn't have cast anybody better than Vincent D'Onofrio as the kingpin.
Mhm.
Uh, you know,
Right. He did an amazing job. But like to think that he was in a Full Metal Jacket, Jurassic World, Men in Black, and he's done such a range of characters and just nails it every time.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You know, Lulu says Solo Leveling is the best anime right now. Nice. I had no clue what you're
You
talking
know
about.
what?
That's awesome.
That's the second time in 24 hours that somebody's recommended solo leveling for me to watch.
Mhm.
Last night, somebody was asking us if we watched. We had. Was it last night or was it Wednesday night during game night? Jesse and I had a friend on playing with us, hanging out with us. One of the Magic community actually was hanging out with us during game night, and
Nice.
we were being asked by some of our watchers what if we watched Solo Leveling and a few other animes.
Mhm. Let's see. Godfather 3 is still my favorite Godfather movie, even though it was strange compared to the first two awesome films. No,
Agreed.
don't get me wrong. I get that aspect. I know Godfather 3.
Godfather 2 was the one of the better when it came of all movies when it came down to sequels.
Right.
Best sequel ever was Godfather 2. Godfather 3 it did have an interesting storyline and a lot of people were put off by it, but I kind of liked it. You know, the original Godfather though is the epitome of the series though.
You know what my favorite trilogy movie was for a long time? Like the trilogy of a movie series. Like I didn't like the first one very much. I didn't like the second movie very much. They were okay. I love
Transformers.
No. Transformer was garbage all the way around. I'm talking about Austin Powers Goldmember.
No, I didn't like none of them.
You didn't like? Oh, come on! Oh man!
Austin Powers Goldmember was such a bipolar slapstick comedy. I loved it. The
I
comedy.
absolutely enjoyed the Austin Powers movies.
Yeah, they're not bad movies. I just didn't attach to the first and second one as much as I did the third one. you know, and it's it's claimed to be the worst film of the series. We all have different tastes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Definitely like the pretty much. I've always been a big fan of the Austin Powers film series.
Yeah, Madam Monk has a good point here. Godfather
Mhm.
2 and The Empire Strikes Back are the best examples of sequels exceeding the originals. You know,
Yep.
it's a really good example of the sequel exceeding the original. The Dark Knight, baby.
Oh yeah.
The Dark Knight. Batman Begins was a good film, but Dark Knight was amazing upgrade sequel.
Yep.
Oh yeah, baby. Got the reference, but yeah, I love the Dark Knight. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight Rises is not up to par with the Dark Knight, but I still love that series. Christopher Nolan did no wrong in that series.
You know, Christopher Nolan brought an interesting take to the Batman, especially given that we didn't think that we were going to get a Batman again for a long time, and until Christopher Nolan came with his Batman, you know. So
Right.
I think that we got a very good take on the Bat.
Oh yeah.
The third movie in a trilogy always tends to struggle. Like normally you've got a first movie which is either an absolute banger or it's a good movie that's sort of built up and is complemented and exceeded by its second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or the second movie is just sort of on par, whatever. But the third movie then normally ends up having to try and conclude the trilogy or something. And it's got so much that's expected of it that it's very rare that a third movie actually comes up as a, what people would say is that is a smasher or whatever.
Well,
Because it's just generally has so much to it.
there is a thing that we look at called film fatigue. You see it all the time. They talk about it all the time. And film fatigue usually happens when you have a series. And you get it quite often with these series that are very much revolvent around a trilogy or a series that like television series. You get it all the time, but more so often with trilogies. You see like the people who are involved running out of ideas, and film production companies and television production companies don't like to go out of the cookie cutter. So you're going to get this fatigue. What I like to call film fatigue, and a lot of people call it like sequel fatigue, or lately it's been like with the Universal cinematic Universal features with everybody that's trying to have this one universe of combined characters, like in the comic book movies. You're getting comic book fatigue. You're hearing people use the same term on the same exact thought process for that, and really in the long run, what it is we're running out of ideas because we're playing the same idea over and over again. How many times do we have to watch Uncle Ben die? How many times does Marvel have to kill? How many times does Marvel have to kill Charles Xavier? Every friggin' movie, except for like 3 of them, Charles Xavier dies, over and over and over again in Days of Future Past. And then in Logan, they kill him off in Logan, and then they kill him off in X-Men 3. And then, they killed him off in,
Hey.
Multiverse.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. And now, from what I understand, Charles Xavier is going to die yet once again. Oh, and they killed him off in the storyline for Daredevil because Cassandra turned the storyline around saying that she killed him in the womb. So then we hear about Charles Xavier's death in Deadpool. So it's like certain characters are meant to die over and over again, and we're just like have to watch it and endure it over and over again. How many times do I have to watch Batman's parents die?
Well, here's a question: why do you keep paying for stuff? Why do you keep going to these movies? Why do you keep watching them? You don't have to watch them. No one's making you watch them. If you're done watching them, stop watching them. Seriously, like when I go watch Spider-Man, I expect a reboot. I'm expecting all the regular stuff to happen, even if they change it up a bit. They did the same
Mhm.
thing with Batman. They set you up for this crap a long time ago with Batman. When they did Batman, they did his backstory over and over again. When they did the Dark Knight Rises trilogy, they set his backstory up in the first film.
All
You
right.
know, you just
When
kind
you
of
grab a
expect.
Batman comic book, though, every single comic book is not about Batman's parents' death.
Right, but
And,
it's not about
you know,
you. It's
it's
not about the reader because the comic books follow that storyline. They know those storylines.
right.
The true believers, as Stanley called the Marvel people, and I know that's not with DC, but like the true believers of comic books understand and know what's going on. Every time they make a movie, they're trying to reach out to new people who might not know the subject matter.
Well, they have the movies. The subject matter is available to everybody. Just like the comic books are available to everybody.
Right,
There,
they are
it's
available.
it's a sign of lazy writing when they don't when the only movie that they want to write over and over again is the entry. Now, what Marvel's doing with the Spider-Man stuff, they said we're not gonna reboot Spider-Man. We're just gonna this is a different universe Spider-Man, and he's gonna have the same life. Marvel has actually stopped re-showing you over and over again the death of Uncle Ben, and they've stopped doing that. Where DC's just doing, and they want to do another reboot. Fortunately, with the Superman, the only thing that looks good about this new Superman movie is the fact that they're not going to show you Superman's birth all over again, and Superman having to grow up all over again.
See you later, Madam Monk. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by.
And that's what I'm getting at.
I wanted to show you something. So I found out I have all 3 movies. Aladdin. Great film.
Yes.
Yes, great film. This classic Aladdin's a great film. Then they go off and they do Return of Jafar, which is not a great film. It's enjoyable, but I thought it was danky.
It was danky, but it's what you expect when you have an animated sequel, especially during Disney's cursed animated sequel era, that was made by their film production company's television side rather than their film production company's movie side.
Right, but then you got Aladdin, King of Thieves, which was a better sequel than Return of Jafar.
But the storyline was kind of... The storyline was
like Aladdin was to aim at everybody to watch a good film in theaters.
Yeah,
this was direct to VHS, and they treated it like crap.
Right.
Then they realized they needed to keep the franchise fresh and good, so they brought Robin Williams back and did Aladdin, King of Thieves.
Right. To be honest, like it's very opinionated conversation for me because I have my opinions that Aladdin, the King of Thieves, and Jafar are tied for this the second best in the series. Yeah, I mean, like while they do have the feel of Genie back the way it's supposed to be, and they don't have that same Genie as same voice actor and animation that they use.
Yeah, because they got the guy who did Homer Simpson's voice for Return of Jafar.
Yeah, he also did the voice in the TV series as well.
Right, which was crazy because they brought Jafar back in Hercules, the TV show.
Yeah,
and they ruined Jafar's character in the show.
The Hercules TV show touched on a couple of the TV shows that were based off of the Disney Eisner era characters, and they did that not very well, unfortunately. But
no, but you know what? I enjoyed it as a kid, so I didn't care. But even though I thought Jafar was done for the Hercules, because they gave him maniacal laughter for about everything he said. But no, what I'm getting at though, like Disney needs to learn for sure, like with Marvel movies and stuff, you can't keep rehashing this stuff. But like when it comes to the universe, Disney has not touched the death of his Uncle Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's because Feige has said we're not going to look at that over and over again anymore.
But they did touch on the death of his aunt and replace.
Yeah, they did. It's one storyline that they've touched on a couple of times in the comic books that quickly keeps on getting undone.
Right.
And I see that Aunt May is going to make a comeback, I think, just as quick as she does in the comic books. They killed her off several times in the comic books as it is.
Yeah, why they keep touching on certain storylines is not for the adult. Come on, I've lived 40 years. I'm turning 41 this year. I've seen the reshoots of Batman's. Heck, I just threw away the original Batman movie on DVD not too long ago. All right, the one with Jack Nicholson as a Joker. It's sad that I threw it away, but it's not a movie I'm going to watch over again because The Dark Knight Rises, to me, surpasses that movie. Not Rises, the whole trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy. But I did keep the one with the Riddler in it because that was my favorite one from back in the day. But anyways, it's for the younger audience because kids sell toys. Kids sell all this stuff. They want the kids to know the stuff. They want to know the lingo. They want kids to grow up on this stuff.
It's true
for the kids, you know.
It's true. That's exactly my argument with everything. It's all about the toys. But in the long run, though, the toys are going to be sold anyway, and you're going to be buying the toys. You, the collector, and the kids are going to be getting those toys anyway, because they're Batman, because they're Superman. My thought process with rehashing the same character lines over and over again, like the same storyline, is the fact that there are much better hooks than just the intro to a character. And
Right.
Unfortunately, when it comes down to Hollywood is not going to do a storyline that they haven't already done. They live off the cookie cutter. That's why when they do try to change things, i.e. Dragon Ball, when they made Dragon Ball, and it turned out to be that Dragon Ball Super movie or whatever, that turned out to be the worst movie ever until until Snow White just came out. Now Snow White is rated on Rotten Tomatoes as the worst movie ever. Is when you start changing a storyline that exists, is when you fail to go out of the cookie cutter. Instead of changing storylines and leaving the cookie cutter, what you should do is actually get a new cookie. Instead of replacing the chocolate chips with raisins, give me an oatmeal cookie that's fresh, and don't tell me it's a chocolate chip cookie. You know,
right.
These are whole new storylines that are out there that you could use.
But look, DC didn't touch on the backstory of Batman very much when they redid Batman with the glittery vamp. I think of his name.
But they did. They changed the storyline drastically for that.
Well, they didn't touch on it as heavy.
Robert Pattinson's.
Pattinson. Yeah,
they changed the storyline greatly.
But look, I'm more sad that they never touched on the Nightwing storyline that Christopher Nolan set up.
Okay. So
with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, the Nightwing thing would have been really sweet as a interesting, different take on Robin. I thought it was an interesting take.
Oh yeah, and they set it up so well. Like even though the character development in Dark Knight Rises was kind of weak, they set up the story very well to go that way.
They even with the 90s versions of Robin that they did, they were trying to go in the Nightwing route. One of the Batman costumes for Robin was the Nightwing costume in the 90s. It was the Nightwing costume with the blue Nightwing across his chest, you know, and very comic accurate. And unfortunately, they just went cheeseball on it.
Right. Look, I understand why Christopher Nolan would want to step away from the project. One, he was dealing a lot of emotion with the death of Heath Ledger and how he lost a good character as one of the strong points. Then after he spent a couple years filming and developing Dark Knight Rises, you know, he was kind of done with the Batman franchise. So was Christian Bale. Christian Bale wanted to leave, and he didn't want to recast Christian Bale.
Well,
So I get that.
it's really hard for actors, from the way I understand it, not being an actor myself, but having lived in Southern California long enough to hear a lot of people complaining inside restaurants when you have to work a second job as a busboy at a restaurant in LA. You hear a lot of people going, "Yeah, well, if I do a cinematic universe thing, then I'm going to get typecasted, and then I'm not going to get any other jobs."
Right.
And that is a fear that apparently to this day still a lot of actors are having, is worried about being typecasted into a role like a superhero role and not being able to get other kinds of work. And
Kane Checker has a question for you really quick. He says, I have not seen the Snow White, actually. Bad was it actually bad or good? Because or was it bad because the minority, ignorant, political, incorrect people complained so loudly?
it was bad because it was bad because what they did to the storyline, not because of the politics. It was forget about politics. It was bad because they decided to change the storyline about, and the whole concept is people went into. If you wanted to watch Snow White as Snow White, it wasn't Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was bad, like when they changed, and everybody praised the movie Cinderella, when Disney did the live action Cinderella remake a couple years ago, and it wasn't necessarily Cinderella. It was the storyline was completely different, and that was what made it an issue for me. And I don't know about people's politics. I'm politically an independent, so it's like I see both sides of the spectrum. I can see why people are there, but they change the story. And when you mess with my lore, that's when you mess with my my liking of a movie. Just make a different movie. It would have been a great movie if they called it something else. Unfortunately, they gave it the name of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, and they changed the storyline.
Right.
And that is where I have an issue, is when you have an IP and then you're like, okay, we're going to throw everything out from this IP and start all over from scratch. That's where I have major issues.
Well, that's where you've got other movies which, I bet would do all right as their own movie, but because they're trying to steal and use some other IP, they ruin it, because that's not what the IP is meant to be.
Yeah, Kane Checker says, sorry, I was trying to remove my comment. Like, I guess you didn't really want that answered. I don't know. Well, yeah, I understand. Like, when they did Craven was not a bad movie. Not at all. It had its comic stuff, like comical stuff, like the lion's blood joining his system before taking a serum.
Okay, so Craven was a good movie as well. Now, Craven is another one of the ones where I haven't see the Marvel movies. I have an issue with the whole lore issue, but they have no choice because who owns the rights to the characters,
right?
And having a comic accurate movie to comic book characters that you don't own the rights to the other comic book characters that they revolve around is very hard. So, like with the Marvel stuff, I can see why they change storylines and change lores in degrees they have.
Can I finish my thought though?
Oh yeah, sorry.
You just stormed over me there.
Sorry.
No, Craven was a good movie. It suffered because it had to deal with Spider-Man, and everything they brought in about Spider-Man kind of suffered the movie. They had good character development, good characters, but everything they brought in that dealt with Spider-Man himself just weakened the movie. And that was sad. Like Craven the Hunter could have been called Billy the Hunter, and it'd been a whole different story. It would have been grandiose. It would have been an epic little movie the way they treated it. They could have explained it how they explained the comic books. They could have said he's a guy hunter who hunts men like they do in the movie. They could have done all that jazz. Right.
I know the studios just don't seem to have enough faith in their own product to sell it without slapping it into another IP or something, to have the it's a Spider-Man thing, so we've got to go watch it. And you're going to get all those Spider-Man people, even though
there's more to it. There's more to it, right? And here's the explanation to it, right? Venom, Craven, any other of the Spider-Man characters Sony will lose the rights to in certain times if they don't make a movie based on them.
Yeah. After it's 7 years. If a Sony production on the characters that they have the establishment to don't have a form of in production, which is a very they don't have to necessarily make the movie. It just has to be in production in a certain form.
Right. Then contractually, they don't have the full rights to make a full Spider-Man movie with these characters because they're with Disney shaking hands. I mean, they can make a Spider-Man movie, but there's certain characters they can't meld with because of this contract, which I don't understand the whole thing. So, making a Spider-Man villain without a Spider-Man in it's really tough. And so they have to put things together. That's why in Kraven, spoiler alert, he's given this toxin that makes him see his most fearful thing ever, like the thing that makes him fear, like they did in Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm.
And his most feared thing was green spiders coming down from the trees. And I'm like, that like being Kraven, I could have seen more of a scary monster. Being a more fearful thing than those spiders. But there was a lot of spiders. They had to tie it into Spider-Man. It just made no sense. And if you haven't seen Kraven the Hunter, watch it. It's a good film overall. Just everything that ties it into Spider-Man's like, what if like they keep referring in the movie to some guy in New York who's helping these people out, which it has to be Norman Osborn or something like that.
Yep.
I triple dog dare them to make a Spider-Man movie with Paste Pot Pete. Anyways.
Yeah, I think though, yeah, absolutely. When it comes down to like the whole Spider-Man issue, and I don't understand exactly the whole Spider-Man thing because the rules have changed with Spider-Man. Like
right.
There's no reason that the rules should have changed with Spider-Man, but they did.
They did.
And the fact of the matter is that Spider-Man is one of those franchises that Sony will probably never loosen their grip on.
Right.
As much as people want to see it, I don't see that Sony's ever going to loosen their grip on the Spider-Man.
Right.
I think Sony has been rocking Spider-Man since the 70s for the live action with their contract that they've had. So much, in fact, that they keep some sort of Spider-Man production in Japan at all points in times. There's still to this day a live action Spider-Man TV series in Japan that's under production. Sony keeps that down real tight. If there's anything they're good at is holding on to an IP.
But hey, thinking of important IPs to hold on to, here's a great IP you should definitely hold on to.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take, so it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Whoa! So make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, toggle that bell if you're not subscribed. Become a member of the creep, my peeps. Be awesome. Join us as we grow this channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We'll have a giveaway when we reach 1,000 subscribers for a Commander deck.
Cool.
Yes. But we need to get to the shill section. We're going to start shilling with the lady in the screen with cats on her lap, going nuts. Let's see what she has to show.
All right. Well, tonight it is Question Chaos. So we will be talking about all the the little the cards that aren't generally played so much and tend to get a little left out because they're not as powerful or really have that use. So that's what we'll be looking at tonight.
Nice.
and just having a nice chat about it.
Chaos. All right, hold on a second. Coaches. Hello, everyone. Big hugs. Super Fast Tortoise. Hope all is well. Did I post something that said I was not doing well? I missed something.
No, it's just being friendly, I think, and saying hope's all good. I think.
But anyways, hello.
Look, coaches.
Hello, coaches. It's good. So glad to see you here. You rock, you roll. It's been a while since we've seen you. No, big hug. Okay. When I read that as big hugs, it's like a greeting you haven't seen in a bit. Because you haven't seen you in a bit. Coaches, you are awesome. Sorry, my brain was confused. I'm so glad to see you, Coach. But now we get to the shill section of kjcowboydan.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. I hope you guys are being good heads out there in Chatland today. Now, so what do I got going on? Tomorrow, I will be doing a little Mad Max. I almost said Mass Effect. Mad Max gameplay, episode 3 of that. So join me tomorrow. Also, today I'm going to be hanging out in my Discord server. If anybody wants to do something, collaborate, or put an event together or something, meet me in the Discord server because I'm doing some show and event planning today. You guys can be part of that. So let's get something going. Let's get something done. Let's do something.
Let's do stuff. Check out his channel on Twitch. Whoop. He's going to be doing some live stuff. He's spoken.
Oh, yes. I have spoken.
That's right. Thinking of speaking, we got someone who speaks a lot and has a lot of opinions, and he really thinks that he should build a mono red deck with mice. Call it Mice and Men. We got Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. No, I do not like mice. But anyway, 2:00 today, I plan on making a new deck for my 2:00 stream this afternoon. And if you want to check out a new deck or a standard deck, come on by the my channel at 2:00 this afternoon. I will be playing Arena, be playing a new standard on deck. And and he went silent.
We've lost you, Tortoise. You made us stare at Hillbilly's face for so long, it stole your audio.
I broke his mic.
Oh, no.
Hey, there we go.
I was confused. I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh, you missed my joke. He missed my joke then. I didn't realize I hit the mute button. I don't know how I hit the mute button. That's sometimes. But anyways, I stalled on Hillbilly's face and said, everybody take a moment to look at Hillbilly's face. I said, now just look at it. I said, you're welcome. You have nightmares now.
Well, we got that. We got the nightmares all right. We didn't get you telling us that we were having the nightmares. It was
everybody, I want to thank you guys for chilling out with us today. Tonight, we're going to do a Commander game around 6 p.m. Hope you can be there. We're going to try to get a game together and try my Drago deck again. I just upgraded a little. Maybe I'll upgrade a little more today. But, my friends, I hope everything's going well for you. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here. We got Hillbilly, Hellwheeler, and KJ for chilling out with us. We got Kane Chicker and everybody in chat, like Man and Mike, Coach, everybody who chilled out. Lulu, you all rock. TCG player, dude. TCG dude, you all rock. I want to thank you for being part of the stream. Now, I want to remind you all that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day, say something nice to someone. They just might need it. You know, even if it comes off silly. And then someone's like, why did you just tell me to have a good day? Or why did you tell me something positive? You know, just do it. You can't be offended if you say the right thing to be positive. But with that, my friends, I want to thank you, my channel members, for everything you do and make the show rock. And let's get to the end screen.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.